Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Parshat Chukat. We know in the Parshat that Miriam dies, water stops, people flip out. Shem says to Moshe to take the stick and to go and speak to the rock. Moshe Rabbeinu takes the stick. Instead of speaking to the rock, ends up hitting the rock. Incredible thing happens, water starts to flow. And yet this is considered a huge sin on the part of Moshe. And Aaron, and they're not allowed to take the Jewish people into Eretz Yisrael. Has huge ramifications. But you have to wonder, what's the midah keneged midah, the measure for measure? At the end of the day, this big thing, God said do it one way, they didn't do it that way. Why would that cause it that they couldn't take the people into the land of Israel? Why is it connected in any way to the land of Israel? And God says words to Moshe, Yan lo amantim bi lahakdisheni. You didn't trust in me in order to sanctify my name. I mean, calm down. You're supposed to speak to the rock. Instead, you hit the rock. At the end of the day, the miracle happened. Water's coming from the rock. That's huge. You can't say you can cause a kiddush Hashem. It's Mekadashim Shemayim B'Rabim. Oh, rock is bringing water. It's a big thing. It seemed to be okay the first time to hit the rock. 40 years ago when they didn't have any water, and Moshe Rabbeinu said, what do we do? So God said, hit the rock and it brings forth water. So nothing wrong with hitting a rock, get water. It's a big miracle. So what's the problem? Now all of a sudden it becomes, Yan lo amantim bi lahakdisheni. Now it's because you didn't trust in me in order to be able to do a Kiddush Hashem. What's the problem here? So I think we have to understand that we say in the Torah, that if you listen to Hashem's commandments, so then the rain is going to come in its time, the earth is going to bring all of its yield, and everything is going to go beautifully and work the way it's supposed to work. And if not, so then I'm going to stop up the rains, and terrible things are going to happen. Ultimately, you're going to get kicked out of the land of Israel. And there are those that say that that's a teaching of the concept of reward and punishment. You do it, everything is good. You don't do it, things are bad. But the truth is, what it's teaching us is it's teaching us about what Eretz Yisrael is. That the reason why Eretz Yisrael is so special, and it was God's special place to give to the Jewish people, because it was a place that was really connected to our neshamas, to our souls. And it was a land that God promised us was going to respond to who we were. When we live with mitzvahs, when we keep the will of Hashem, then the land keeps the will of the people. And the land will respond with rain and with yield and with produce and with sustenance and with taking care of us in the ways that we need to be taken care of. But when we don't protect our souls, when we don't take care of our souls, when we don't follow the ways of Hashem, then the land can't take care of us either. That when we live in a certain way, that land is part of who we are. That land is connected to the soul of the Jew. It's not a piece of real estate. It's not just simply a land that we happen to live in. It is a land that is reflective of the soul of the Jew and connected to the soul of the Jew. Which is why when the Torah gives the reasons for the holidays, it gives agricultural reasons and it gives historical reasons, because it's one in the same. Because what's happening in agriculture is what's happening in history. It's what's happening inside of our souls. It's happening inside of our very lives and existence. When the earth is bringing forth its blessing, we are beginning our trek again. We are rejuvenating our trek as Jews and our connection to God. In every step of the way in the agriculture, it's just a mere reflection of what's going on inside of the Jewish people. When we came into the desert, we were thirsty. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu had to create a water source. And God said to him, take the stick, smack the rock. Because show them that it all comes from God. But once we understand that and understood that, we weren't thirsty when Miriam died. We had plenty of water. It's just the source of the water had dried up for the moment. And it was just that now we didn't know what was going to be tomorrow and how are we going to be taken care of. And now God gave Moshe Rabbeinu the chance to teach them by speaking to the rock, which represented what their life was going to be like in Eretz Yisrael. That there was no need to force it. There was no need to hit it. There was no need to have to try to gerrymander it to be able to take care of you. It's going to provide for you. Just pray to it. Trust in God. And it's going to give you everything that you need to have. You don't need the stick. You don't need the force. You don't need to work hard at it. All you need to do is to work hard at yourself. And that if you're holding in the right place, then it's going to take care of you and it's going to provide for you because it's connected to you. And that's why this was such a huge lesson that Moshe Rabbeinu was meant to teach. Water from a rock is a miracle, but that wasn't the lesson. The lesson wasn't that a rock can bring water. They knew that already, that a rock could bring water. They knew that God takes care of them. But what they needed to know is that this rock, this land, their future life, it's tied to their very souls. And if you take care of your soul, then the land will respond. That was the Kiddush Shem Shemayim that Moshe Rabbeinu missed. They failed to show the greatness of Hashem and his care for them in creating a land that responds to their needs, not one that has to be forced and be subdued to the will of the people. And that's why it was considered such a big deal. And that's why Moshe couldn't leave them, Moshe and Aaron couldn't lead them into the land, because they didn't have the ability to be able to convey this message to them. That this was critical in their existence. This wasn't just a piece of real estate. It wasn't Manhattan. It's Atzenu HaKadosha, which is connected to the Neshama HaTahira, which responds in the same way as our Neshamas. And then when we elevate our Neshamas, our land responds to us. Not just the Kiddush Hashem at that moment, but to be Makadashim Shemayim generation after generation. That when we read Parshat Chukas, 3,500 years later, it generates the discussion and the reminder of Kedushas Haaretz and of the special place that we're living and the special land that we are zoche to and the land that we're willing to give up our lives and to dedicate our lives to. And it's a good reminder. It's an important reminder of the incredible gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us. And when we see all of the nisim, the niflos that happen, day after day after day, we're reminded of the preciousness of where we live, which I'm here 5 years, it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget where you are. And we read this Pasha, and we're reminded, take care of this gift. Take care of this land, and it will take care of you. Have a beautiful, awesome, and amazing Shabbos.